What's going on, fam? Welcome to The Shift Effect, and I'm your host, Mr. Weefit, and today we have another special guest, Erfan. Welcome to the show, man.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. I'm super excited that we got you on
Same
here.
here. Thanks for having me today.
Yes, man.
Very excited to be here.
Yeah, we've been working on this for a few weeks now to get you on here to hear your story and things like that.
Absolutely.
And I'm super excited. So I'm not gonna hold this from this conversation. Let's get this thing started.
Let's do it.
Tell us about like where you grew up at and where you from and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was born in Afghanistan. I was born in a province called Ghazni, which was like, I think it's like 100 kilometers. We measure, the distance,
Right.
Everything like that in kilometers. So 100 kilometers away from the capital city, Kabul.
Okay.
It should be in like around 70 miles or something. I was born there. I grew up in Kabul. I lived about 3 or 4 years in Mazar Sharif, a northern city
Wow.
in Afghanistan. Yeah, I lived 14 years of my life in Afghanistan. Great country, beautiful, very beautiful. And it's almost been, I think, 4 years that I've been in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was some of like your biggest memories in Afghanistan? Like what was some of it? Because I know I looked at some of the pictures and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and this is beautiful. I was like, wow, some great mountains
Yeah.
and culture and stuff like that.
I mean, there's a lot. I don't know. Are you asking about like personal memories or general?
Personal memories, certain things that you feel comfortable with sharing. Like it could be good, it can be bad. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is always about like the festivals, like the traditions that we have in Afghanistan, right?
Okay.
I mean, Afghanistan being a majority Muslim country, we've got like Eid festivals.
Okay.
We have two of them in Afghanistan. The fasting month, Ramadan.
Yeah, Ramadan, yeah.
1 month that when you fast for the whole month, people ask you like, do you even drink water? No, we don't drink water, just in case. But no, it's not like that, After Ramadan ends, there is the Eid festival, which goes for 3 days. And then there's another one that comes after Ramadan, 2 months later, I think, or I might be wrong, but I think it's 2 months. And then we also got New Year, not Happy New Year. New Year in Afghanistan, they call it Nowruz. It's a tradition that goes back to 5,000 years ago. It started by the, native Afghan people called Aryans.
Okay.
They started it, and we also have it in Iran, in Tajikistan, in India, Pakistan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would be some of like what would be like Afghanistan like special dish? What's like a special dish in Afghanistan?
Well, I mean, the most famous that everybody knows about, it's called Kabuli Palau.
Okay, I heard of that.
Yeah.
I did hear. Okay.
Yeah.
Palau. I heard of palau.
Palau, yeah. I think it's that, yeah.
Okay.
So it's rice cooked, like
Okay.
it's raisins,
Love raisins.
carrots.
Ooh.
We also got a lot of things, mixed with it. In order to cook or to make a kabuli palau, you have to use masala. Masala is like, a bunch of cooking,
Okay.
I don't know, dishes.
Okay.
That other, I think, cultures use it too.
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with it, like how to make it, but
Okay.
I
But
think
it
that's
just
the
tastes
most famous
good.
one. It tastes really good.
What? So when the
You
last
should
time
try.
did you have that?
I went to this restaurant in DC actually. It's called Lapis.
Okay.
I went with my friend about, I don't know, like November or something.
So is it an Afghanistan?
It's an Afghani restaurant.
Okay.
I think it's the biggest in the United States.
Oh.
Like number one in the United States.
So definitely send me the information on
Yeah,
that. Do they got
absolutely.
like certain like plant-based options too, or?
They do, yeah, they do.
Okay.
They have vegetarian, they have lamb, beef, chicken, anything. yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's that. So tell me, so you said you lived 10 years in Afghanistan. So you was 10 years old when you came to America.
I lived 14 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how have that transition been when you came from your country into United States of America? Tell me about that process.
Yeah, it's actually a good question because I get asked a lot. It's been challenging. I left Afghanistan in a very chaotic way. I left right after 2021, the fall of the country when the Taliban took over. I left the country with my uncle and my brother. My uncle was a journalist. The reason that we left, it was because my dad was working with American forces in Mazar Sharif, the city in Afghanistan. My uncle was a journalist, worked with American journalists, and it was an opportunity for me and my family to leave Afghanistan, to escape the Taliban. And the transition to the United States, for me, it hasn't been that hard. I can tell from my uncle and my brother, it's been harder because, first of all, they're older. And I was only 14 years old that I came. And I was basically a kid,
Right.
I mean, I just turned 18. It was hard because I had no friends, It was a
The language barrier.
language barrier, exactly. The culture too.
Yep.
But I knew the culture, like I had expected.
Right.
I watched Hollywood movies. I knew what's going to be like in America.
Right.
But still, you're away from your family. You're away from your people.
Right.
You got to form a new community. And when I came to Maryland, I started high school mid-year, second semester at BCC, Bethesda Chevy Chase High School. And for the first few months, it was really hard, but I kind of got used to it, I'm a very social person,
you are.
outgoing, talking to everybody, making friends with everyone. And that kind of made my life a lot easier. But the transition overall, I don't know what to talk about when it comes to transition. I think certainly for me, being away from my family has been really hard, but I found the family over here, my friends are my family members.
Yeah.
People who help me, my colleagues,
Right.
they're my family members.
Man, that's powerful. If you don't mind, is your father still living and stuff like that?
Well, currently, yeah. They're still in Afghanistan, and we're expecting.
Do you still communicate with him?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's
I talk to
good.
them. I talk to them almost every day. But I mean, I got a school,
Right.
and I got Link.
Right.
So just trying to talk to them more and more. I've got my cousins in Afghanistan. I've got my uncles that I'm really close with, and my dad, my sisters. I have 4 sisters who are still in Afghanistan.
And your mom's still in Afghanistan
Yeah.
too?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're expecting them to come as soon as possible,
Yeah.
but hopefully maybe in the next few months, but don't really know. Yeah.
Wow, man. First, I just want to say, no, it's really touching, man. To hear that. That's not easy leaving your loved ones, your father, your mom. I lost my mom in 2008, my biological mom, and it hurts. I was a 14-year-old boy when I lost my mom. But just to move and your mom and your family, your immediate family, your household is somewhere else in another country, and you over here is pretty, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up how the world is sometimes, but
Sure.
I'm seeing how you prevailing through and how strong and consistent you are, and it's gonna pay dividends and stuff like that. To pivot a little, I know you got a background in mixed martial arts, man. I wanna speak on that, man, because I'm a big not just football. I know you guys see the jersey. Yes, Commanders play tonight. We're gonna beat Tampa Bay.
Go Eagles.
Yeah. I was about to say, man, dang, I was really liking you, bro. You had to throw the Eagles out there.
No, I like Philadelphia.
Oh, you okay?
I like the city of Philadelphia, but
Okay.
I also like
Their
their
sports
teams.
yeah.
Phillies,
76ers.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
No, I don't like
don't like
76ers. I like Capitals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, that's good. And I was about to say, what was tell me a little bit about your mixed martial arts background. Because
Yeah,
I love boxing, combat sports, UFC. I watch that all the time. That go hand in hand with football
sure.
to me. I don't know which one I like. Some people think I like combat sports a little more, but I definitely want to hit because one, how old were you when you started this combat sports?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I began my, I would say just my, career in MMA when I was only 8 years old, I believe.
Okay.
At the time, I was playing soccer too,
Okay.
I really was passionate about soccer, but I kind of got into like, uh, boxing. First, I started boxing. I did boxing for a year, and I didn't have any matches. I was just like training with my brother because my brother was training too, and the club that we used to go to wasn't that far from our house. But before I talk about my career, about my like I don't have a career obviously, but like my background in MMA, I want to point out that Afghanistan is probably the biggest, or has the biggest culture for combat sports.
Okay.
Yes, there's cricket, there's soccer, but at the same time, MMA is really big. Like a lot of people want to become pro.
Because that's like
MMA.
a way of like making it out, right? Because that when I look at like countries like Ukraine and stuff like that, these people are Russian, like they're really like in combat serious, and just the way they making it like United States of America. Of course, we got a lot of dominant athletes over here, but there's like football, basketball. That's their way of really making it out. Of course, we had like Floyd Mayweather's, Muhammad, like people like that, but other countries, particularly like Muslim countries, have a lot of people that fight in like combat sports, them MMAs, and they looking to get to UFC or PFL and things like that. But yeah, I'm following where you're going.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's more cultural thing,
Yeah.
Afghanistan is very, very unique in terms of like when it comes to combat sports.
Yeah.
Or when it comes to like MMA, because you need those skills. Most of a lot of people in Afghanistan are farmers, and they also like there's no really an official sport, Now the Taliban running the country, I don't think that there's any chance for like people to really play soccer. We say football, like soccer, you guys,
US,
although it's actual football, but you guys just say it's soccer. I don't know why. I mean, I don't mean
to. Football Americano.
Exactly. People in Afghanistan need that skill. Those skills, like to be able to physically be fit. Do combat sports, and it's very interesting because I feel like we've got a lot of really good athletes and MMA fighters. Not only MMA, but like boxers, wrestlers. They're not given the chance to really showcase their skills, to showcase how really good they are, We have to go to Russia, for example, to perform. We have to go to Iran, our neighboring country, to go and perform. Because in Afghanistan, they don't really get the chance to like show how what they're able to do. But in Afghanistan, looking at that culture, I was very motivated, inspired by that I should do also combat sports.
Yep.
Yeah. I started with boxing. I did boxing for 1 year, and then I was got tired of it, I guess. I think it was kind of boring because I had other stuff to do.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I didn't really work out. I didn't really do anything. And then I think I was around like 10 years old. I went with my friend who was an MMA fighter too, but he wasn't that good. I mean, I don't mean to offend him, but he wasn't that good. He was like, Erfan, you want to come and check it out? There's a club about like 10 minutes away from our neighborhood. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I went there. I saw it was a huge club. It was like around 300 people.
Okay.
Different ages, from even 6 years old to like 35, 40 years old.
Wow.
I remember our coach. He was a very nice guy. He came up and he was like, "Hi, my name is Ali, and welcome to our club." He was like, "You want to come and check it out? See if you like it." And I stayed. I was watching at people. I was looking at people. I was kind of terrified of like, it's a really hard sport.
Yeah.
I was like, sure, yeah, absolutely.
And that's normal, just curious, nerves and things like that.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson speak about that all the time, how nervous he is when he do his walk to the ring. Like, we're human. That means if you're not nervous, then I'd be worried. Like, this person's really crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's human.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's human nature not to want to get knocked upside the head or things like that. Like, it's human nature.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like comfort also contributes to that. You know,
Yep.
you're in comfort.
Yep.
You don't do anything. You don't move.
Yep.
When you don't push yourself, it's a famous saying.
Yep.
You should push yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yep.
Then you will realize that there's so many things that
I can do
to do in
Yep.
the world. Yeah. Yeah, and then I didn't get to go to that club actually. I went to another club. My coach, he still fights. He's in Russia.
Okay.
I want to say hi to him. Hopefully he's gonna watch this video. My coach Ismail Haidari.
Shout out.
Shout out to him. Yeah, great coach. He was coaching me. He was a good friend, a good mentor, and also I would say a good brother. You know.
Okay.
Because he's not that old. He's like in his 20s, late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was 10 years old when my MMA career began. You know.
So I'm curious though, because I know you was fighting professionally.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first started fighting professionally?
Okay, so I was 10 years old when I started fighting professionally. I had my first match.
Did y'all hear this? 10 years old fighting professionally, grown men.
Yes.
Wow.
It was crazy. I didn't really expect it.
Insane. Like,
I know, yeah. They do that in Afghanistan, man.
wow.
They do it, yeah.
I was about to say, like, speak on it. Like, how was it to get in your first victory, and
Yeah.
did you knock somebody out? Did you submit somebody? Come on, we want to hear it.
Yeah, well, what happened was, I was very prepared. I was nervous, super nervous, you know? But I wasn't scared. I was just like nervous. At the same time, I was confident because
you're confident in your ability.
Yeah.
Like, what you can do, but you're just nervous. It's human.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was only like 3 months into that I had just started MMA.
Wow.
At that club, and my coach one day he came up to me and he was like, "All right, we have got this tournament if you want to do it." I was like, "What kind of tournament is it?" He was like, it's this tournament between the neighborhoods in the western side of Kabul, actually.
Okay.
He was like, "You want to do, and let's see, and if you like it." And then I think I remember I weighed in only 110 pounds, I think, like 40 kilograms. I'm not sure. So it was very nerve-wracking for me to see, like fighting. It was the same age, same weight, same age, but when I walked into the cage, the guy was really very good. He was really good. He was very fast, he had a good grappling style. He threw good punches at me, but I obviously dodged because I had been boxing,
Right.
2 years
Bob and weave.
before. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it was in round 2 when I took his leg, wrestled with him, took him down, and then I tried to like submit him. I got his arm. I forgot the name of the move, but it's whatever. So I got him. It was tough because he was also resisting, and I was kind of tired too, and I was out of breath.
Yeah.
And he submitted. So that was my first victory, and I was so happy. I was like jumping all around.
Like, you can do it. Like, explain, how did that feel though?
It felt great because I wasn't really, my coach, he was really hard on me.
But
like my teammates, they were really good, they would always fight. Like, I was like, okay, give me some time, I want more time to prepare for the fight, or like, I'm not really ready. So I had some excuse, obviously, So my first fight. And then my coach, he would always get mad at me, he would cuss at me. He was like, all right, you got to do it, in a positive way. Like, he was trying to encourage me. But sometimes being hard on someone is actually like, it really helps.
It can help, yeah.
It really helps.
Yeah. It wasn't hard it was a discouragement. It was help from like, get your ass to work. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, it was easy. Having this part, it was easy. Like,
Let me ask you
I'm gonna
this.
do it again.
Let me ask you this, Erfan. Was that one of was your first one like your favorite win, or do you have any other wins? Like, what was your top win?
I have. I mean, it was obviously
Your
the
first
most memorable
Yeah.
because it's your first one. It's always like it's
Yeah.
gonna be in your mind forever. I've had 5 matches in my career.
Okay.
You know, um, I've won 4. I've lost 1.
4-1.
4-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to be undefeated, but couldn't.
It
And
happened.
it was by decision, though. It was by decision.
Okay.
I don't know if the decision was rigged. I think it was rigged.
Oh yeah, and it's a lot.
I think it was
In
rigged.
all these sports, it's a lot of rig stuff going on.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all, stop what y'all doing, man. My man is 5-0.
I was, yeah. So I think I was 13 when I had my 3rd match, or 4th match actually. It was really interesting because I was matched with a guy who was 2 years older than me. I think he was 15 or something. But we were in the same weight class.
Right.
And what happened was, I got really good at, wrestling,
Right.
grappling,
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu too.
Yeah.
I knew some submission moves, but I wasn't really like into doing submission because it could also risk, that he could reverse it and get you.
You counter it. Yeah.
Exactly. I tried to like box with him a little more to make him more tired, and then go for, grappling. So I kicked him, I boxed with him. It was round 3. He tried to, do some wrestling move, like, suplex, I think.
Yeah.
We call it German suplex,
Yeah.
went around my back.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
tried
yeah.
to do this.
Yeah.
But what happened was, I was like, okay, this is a very good time because he wants to do it, I think he was a good striker, but not a very good wrestler.
Okay.
He knew that, I was trying to be in defensive mode, and he was offensive. Like, he was throwing a lot of punches.
Okay.
And if I hadn't fought back, if he didn't come or hadn't come to, wrestling mode, I would have lost that fight because of
Right.
the decision, because I was being very defensive, And then I got him, when I got him down, when I sat on his chest and I was just punching, and the ref finally came in and he was like, all right.
Oh
Done.
yeah, okay. TKO,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Got him out. So I want to know this. So if you could fight any mixed martial arts fighter or things like that on the planet or in history,
Yeah.
is there any specific person you like, man, I love to fight that guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
And why? I want you to know
Sure.
who would this person be that you would like to fight and why?
Conor McGregor, obviously. I think he's,
Everybody want Conor.
yeah. He would be number 1. He's the biggest trash talker. He's, I like him.
It's a money fight.
Absolutely, he brings a lot
Yeah.
of energy into the fight. But also, I mean, I don't know. He was never my favorite. He was the biggest trash talker. He was very disrespectful to other fighters.
Yeah.
And I don't really like people who are real selfish.
Disrespect.
Just be yourself. Like, you're gonna get knocked out, and you're gonna be embarrassed in front of people.
Yeah.
Like, don't try to show off, right?
See what Khabib did to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Conor would be number 1. Sean O'Malley would be another one, I think. Do you mean only MMA fighters or any?
It could be boxing if you want to mix it up, but MMA, I was emphasizing combat sports period. It don't
Yeah,
matter.
absolutely.
If it's 3 people, you said Conor, you said Sean O'Malley.
Probably Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. Okay, everybody, yeah, it's a hell of a money fight too, man. But I'm be honest.
Yeah.
What I like about Jake Paul is
Yes.
that he's a real fighter now. Like I tell people, like we can get into the entertainment, but he been putting in the work. It's over 4 years. This man's been in the gym, sparring ex-world champions,
Yeah.
whatever. You gotta give him, because to the average person, he will knock them off their feet. Like he's a fighter. He went in there with Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury's little
lost,
brother.
though.
He lost, but
Yeah.
he didn't get knocked out by Tommy, and he caught Tommy with a nice shot.
I saw that. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
and you gotta give Jake props. I would say this, yes, the entertainment phase in regard, he fighting all these people, these retired, these old, these seniors and things like that. But he is a fighter. Like, you got to say that, yes, I can't wait until he transitioned to be like, okay, let me fight in my weight class. Let me start fighting these people that's ranked and things like that, so people can really give him his respect. And I think he'll do well. I don't know about him calling out Canelo Alvarez and stuff. Like, Canelo, I'm just saying, it's levels.
Yeah,
it's really levels. But Jake, what he's brought to the sport of combat sports, specifically boxing, it's somewhat good. A lot of people that they was mad at first, now they starting to transition. Like, he's bringing more eyes to the sports, people opportunities to get money, like he doing with Amanda Serrano. So that's the thing that I can give. Like, I like. You know, a lot of the trash talking and stuff like that, I don't like it, and disrespect. But I get it because, like Floyd used to say, it's entertainment. We're in the entertainment. So you want to entertain, but I get what you're saying. You want to, like, Khabib was very entertaining.
Yes.
But it's balanced. It's still got to be respect when we're disrespecting people, cultures, or where they from. We can't cross those lines. But I do think Jake Paul I respect him as a fighter.
Yes.
But I will give him more respect when he's like, okay, I need to fight rank guys. It's my weight. Hell with all these, I'm trying to fight this YouTuber. I don't look at you as a YouTuber no more. I'm look at you as a fighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's fight some guys that you rank if you really trying to be a world champion.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously you and I have different opinions.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I think, I've never thought of Jake Paul to be as a real fighter. I've always thought he was a YouTuber, right? Yeah. I have a lot of respect for him, you know. I don't mean to, like, say anything. I'm not a trash talker. I don't want to backbite about anyone, you know. I think he's good. I mean, he's done a lot, you know. He's, I don't know, like 10-1, 11-1 or something. He lost to Tom.
Yeah, 10-1, I believe. Yeah, I think 10 or 11-1. It's one of those,
Yeah, I think one problem that some fighters have is they get too personal, you know, like disrespect your wife, disrespect your family members.
Yeah, I'm not with that.
Well, in that case, you should beat the shit out of them. You know? Then yes, you're allowed. But then when it comes to like YouTubers, you know, like fake fighters, I call them fake fighters. They not only, sure, they bring entertainment. You know, you don't see fighters fight in the ring. You see stars, you know, fighting in the ring. I've, you know, Jake Paul. I mean, can he really fight a good boxer? Can he? I don't know.
Well, Tommy Fury supposed to been that guy, but Tommy,
I mean, he lost
Tommy is.
Like, I mean.
Yeah, that was sloppy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Jake fought, what's his name?
Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson, well, it was recent.
The man is.
The MMA fighter, Nick Diaz.
Yeah. Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
Anderson Spider. Like,
KSI. Yeah, but like, come on. They don't, sure, they might bring a lot of money, right? They might bring a lot of focus.
Eyes and attention, yeah. But to your point, I do agree.
Yeah.
I still, you know, we can disagree on that, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I do respect Jake Paul as a fighter.
Yeah.
I do respect KSI as a fighter, but Jake Paul on a more serious level because his competition level has been a little more than KSI. Like, Jake Paul is really.
Yeah.
I somewhat, to be honest, I'm gonna be honest with. I believe, especially at his weight class, if he's doing cruiser, I don't know if he's going to want to stay at heavyweight. You're not winning no world title at heavyweight. It's the Usyks, the Joshuas, if they still in it, the Wilders, the Tyson Furies. You're gonna get splashed.
Absolutely.
But if you try to ease in, maybe a cruiser. I don't know because those weight classes are a little boring a little bit. Cruiser, light heavyweight, whatever. He might can luck up because, you know, in them weights, they depend on power. If you get clipped, you go out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it don't require so much skill set like the welterweights or the light, you know, those weights 154 and 160, 147, 135, those really require a lot of skill. And if you try to fight in those realms, you're going to get deleted.
True.
But if you, in those cruiserweights, and I'm not diminishing those people saying they don't have skill set. You know what I'm saying? Because Usyk have skill, even though he's a heavyweight now. But I think Jake got a more of a chance of like fighting those 185, 190 maybe,
Yeah.
but don't fight like the monster or Canelo. Like stay out of their way. Like
Absolutely, yeah.
stay out of their way. I'm being respectful. You know what I'm saying? I'm being respectful.
Sure.
But I do respect him as a fighter because any person to get in that ring
Mm-hmm.
and put the gloves on, whatever, and you know that as a former fighter, that you got to give him respect because the getting in there is a con because you could really die in the ring. People have died
Yes.
in the ring, so I really respect someone that gets in there. But I do agree to your point, like hell with the circus stuff. We understand, yes, entertainers. I love the entertainer, but when it comes across when you disrespecting people and their cultures, I really do not like that. Because even what Connor was coming off with disrespecting the beef culture, I try to be very careful with that. Like, cause you gotta respect people. You gotta respect their faith, their beliefs, whatever. Just don't disrespect people like that. And I see the guy that you mentioned earlier off camera. You said Logan. He's about to fight Conor McGregor, I believe. They're about to fight. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
it's been
Wait,
promoted.
I thought that the other MMA fighter, Michael Chandler, was supposed to fight.
They did,
Conor.
but Conor and they're gonna fight.
Conor has been running away from Michael.
Yeah, Conor just need to wrap the UFC. I'm gonna be
Yeah, I
honest.
mean,
You made
he's
a lot of
old.
money, Conor, with the Floyd fight. Your alcohol brand,
Yeah.
whatever, is taking off, skyrocket.
Yeah. I mean, at this point,
The game is too fast, and
Yeah.
you'll get hurt. Like you know that as a MMA fighter, because I did boxing. You know what I'm saying? I never boxed professionally or anything like that. But as a kid, I boxed and stuff like that, training and things like that.
why didn't you go pro? You should have gone pro, bro.
Oh no, prison, man. You know, but I can imagine if I've been really like as adult, I do like some boxing training with some other coaches that I know and playing around. But I can only imagine if I really took that serious as when I was a kid.
You could have been.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know.
Like a lot of people think sometimes when they say like, "Hey, you're a boxer, you're a professional boxer, you play football or something like that." They always think that, but
I mean, I don't know. How old are you again?
I'm 31.
31.
31. I'll be 32 this year in September.
Probably not for MMA.
Oh no,
but
no, I'm not. Oh yeah, no. Oh, I'm not boxing either. I don't require that. I just don't want that head,
Yeah.
the trauma. Like I've been through so much in my life and things and surgeries and hit in the head, and I just don't like the training and maybe sparring and stuff like that. That's something that I'm interested in because always just to stay sharp, but you know, defending myself or anything like that.
Yeah.
But me really trying to seek it out for a career, hell no. Like hell no. The game would be too fast.
You still got some time though.
Oh yeah, I still got
still
some
got some
time.
time,
Like I
yeah.
still got youth on my side, but I'm not trying to like, I'm trying to be a world champion or no,
For sure,
that
for
ain't.
sure, for sure.
But hey, before we pivot from this, what are you still interested in like fighting again professionally? Is that something, or you like, nah, I got some other things I want to do?
Yeah.
You still get that itch, like, you know what, I still want to fight again. I want to fuck something up.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, if you got like, skill like boxing or fighting, it's a good weapon to have.
Yep.
A lot of people don't realize, but it's such a good skill to have.
That's
say something might happen to you, like I don't know, robbers might stop you and try to like rob you or something, right? I mean, you should be able to physically fight them, but like if they're armed, you should obviously be
be smart. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, such a good skill. But when I came to America, actually, I was really lost. I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I had school, I sort of struggled in the beginning at school too, but it's kind of like, I don't know, it might come across as he's everything, he's doing everything. No, I mean, I kind of got used to the American educational system. I've always done well in school,
Right.
I don't know, been in top of my class
Okay.
from first through sixth grade or something.
Okay.
Back in Afghanistan, obviously. And then when I came to America, I had to really focus on school, get really good grades, GPA matters, and it was just, now again, it goes back to the transition. I was lost, I was confused. And I was kind of looking for like, clubs to go and if there were any opportunities for me to do. But the only thing that I knew, or the only opportunity that I knew that was there for me was joining my school's wrestling team. And it was a lot of commitment,
Okay, I get it.
because school has longer hours compared to Afghanistan. You go 7 in the morning, you come back to 30, Then right after you have to do the homework, and then there's other responsibilities that you have, like chores. You have to help family,
Yeah.
go get groceries, stuff like that. I mean, I was kind of thinking about it, but I wasn't really concerned. I
Right.
was like, all right,
wasn't a
I still
priority.
have some time. I might do it in
And
2
you're still
years.
young.
3
And you're
years.
still young. And the good thing is, it's not like you see some athletes that's like freakish. Like if we use Deontay Wilder, I guess he started but he was in football. He's from Alabama, so football in Alabama is a big sport. So in them in southern states, so I heard he started boxing, I believe, when he was 18, 19. So that might be a little late for some people. But and he ended up, due to his power, this dude ended up getting in the Olympics and being a world champion and taking care of his family for life.
Sure.
But for you already got a background. You've been doing it for a while, so it's just like you just refreshing and like you already know the skill set. And I know sometimes when you probably just playing around, just training, so it ain't like you just starting fresh at 18, 19 years old. You're stupid young. So if you did decide to do MMA or boxing, you still can prevail at a high level. Yeah, because you already done it in the back. You already had certain training, so it'd be like riding a bicycle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you brought up a point, and I wanted to touch on when you
please.
say like the transition was challenging, and things like that to a little bit. The language, I want to understand like how, like you speaking English so well. Like how was it? Was you
Appreciate it.
learning a little bit from your dad and your uncle back in Afghanistan, or is just everything just full running coming here?
Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, back in Afghanistan, I was a reader. Again, it just sounds that I do
A
everything.
scholar, man.
I swear to God. Let me get this straight with you guys. I don't do everything, but there are things that I'm really passionate and interested in doing. Yes, I'm outgoing. Yes, I'm outspoken. Yes, I'm active in the community. I do things. I'm doing sort of good at school, but at the same time, there's other things that you have to do. I've always been interested in being informed and staying up to date. When I was a bit younger, I was very, interested in knowing about politics, what was going on in Afghanistan and the region, checking out, I don't know, BBC Persian, CNN sometimes, but I didn't really know what CNN was.
Right.
What they were saying, broadcasting, obviously, because I didn't know English. But my uncle, he was the one, because he was the only one who knew English, and he would teach me sometimes about the grammar, tenses, past, present, perfect, stuff like that, adverbs, verb. I knew the basics, but then I kind of learned English on my own. I got really fluent. I was conversing with people. I was on Facebook at the time. Instagram wasn't really that popular. Facebook, I would add people on Facebook, being friends with them, talking to them in English, just chatting with them, and then I bought more English books, comic, and then kind of transitioned to like political and newspapers. My uncle would sometimes bring me some, like newspaper from his office. I also forgot, actually, when I was about 8 years old, I think, or 7, I moved from Mazar Sharif. I left my dad and my family, my sisters, my uncle, my brother, and I moved to Kabul to live with my uncle. So we've been living with him for the past 11 years now.
Okay.
So he basically took care of us. He's our father, like our father figure. I mean, he's a brother to my dad, and I think he's been the main reason that I learned English. And then I also went to like English institutions courses, but those didn't really help.
Right. Yeah, they just be getting your money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so
Business.
so right now, you're in your senior year in high school, correct?
Yeah, I'm a
Yep.
senior. Yep.
So man, college coming
Yep.
up. I know it's a lot going on with that. Speak on that. Like, are you interested in going to college? What's your favorite subject? I just want to know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, today is what, January 12th, 11th,
Yes,
something
the
like
12th,
that.
the 12th.
So we've got like about 2 weeks left, until the second semester, the first semester ends, and we're going to our second semester, and that's when senioritis is going to begin. You know, yes, I'm done with my college applications. Actually, I've applied to about almost 20 schools, and hopefully gonna get to one. Not really concerned about which one I'm gonna go to or gonna get into.
Right.
Although my family is pressing me to go to a very good college.
Right.
Because these foreigners,
Yeah.
foreigner parents, basically. Although my uncle is now my parent, my guardian,
Right.
and they want the best for you. I'm thinking about going to a 4-year university and hopefully gonna study something like related to international affairs or maybe economics and computer science too. With
that's
now
where the
the
money
rise
is.
of AI,
Yeah.
technology. I think it's important to have some skills in computer too. But the main focus is going to be more internationally. Hopefully end up working for intergovernmental institutions like the United Nations, IMF,
Embassies.
World Bank, Red Cross.
Yep.
And the ultimate goal is obviously to serve both communities and people here in the United States, because this is my second home, and I think I owe Americans, my American friends. Although I'm not an American officially yet, and I'm hoping to be one day, someday.
You're gonna be. It's
definitely.
It's gonna happen for sure.
And serve people in Afghanistan and obviously elsewhere, Africa, I don't know, Middle East, elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that's powerful. So
Yeah.
I know you through Link Strategic Partners. Shout out to Link,
Shout out to
Michael
Link.
Aiken, Jamal, everybody, the whole staff. Thank you, man. Love you guys.
We love y'all.
So when I first met you, I did not know you was that young.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think when I met you, you was about 16.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 15, 16, one of them. So
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy because when you told me your age, you remember at first I didn't believe you. I'm like, come on, man. And
You were shocked.
Yeah, you so
You're like, "Are you kidding
mature.
me?" Thank you.
And you so mature. You showing me, your MMA videos. You submitting people and things like that. And I'm like, wow. Like I'm just surprised. And then, what I'm so just, shocked about, like you at a social impact firm. That does a lot of impact locally and globally and stuff like that. So how did you get connected with Link Strategic Partners?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on. They found me. I didn't find them.
Yes.
So what happened was, there was this organization called LearnServe International. Shout out to them. They are the reason, actually, that helps me and open doors for me into social impact work. They were the reason to create connections for me with other people, including Michael Aiken, our boss, my boss, Link's president. So there was this one time. Okay, let me explain what LearnServe first is. LearnServe International is an organization that helps, high schoolers or younger people. It doesn't matter, high schoolers or college students, to come up with a passion or an idea. Most of them are basically like issues, like what challenges our world is facing, or what challenges younger people are facing. And then they come up with solutions. And they call it venture project, right? When I first joined LearnServe International was in November of 2021. And I was connected through a family friend. And I talked to the president or the CEO or director of Lursurf, Scott Reckler, he told me that, hey, we have this opportunity if you want to come and join us. I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And my venture project, I already had in mind climate change. Because climate change is such a big issue right now, and a lot of people don't believe in it. Yes, like, people, you cannot see it right now, but it's going to be more visible in the next few years. I mean, it's visible right now, but people don't know that, oh yeah, that's climate change. Like the bushfires right now in Los Angeles.
LA is crazy.
Los Angeles is burning.
Yeah.
Have you seen like
It's
Beverly
crazy.
Hills,
Yeah, it's
Hollywood?
crazy. All these, Hollywood stars, houses, mansions burning, homeless people, like it's crazy.
Yeah. Sea level rise, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to point out that I was very passionate about, solving environmental issues back in Afghanistan, because Afghanistan, 26,000 people every year dies because of the impacts of the climate change and the issues that the environment face, right? The famous one being is burning fossil fuels and the pollution, air pollution in Afghanistan.
Okay.
Afghanistan is surrounded by India and China, right?
Yeah.
It's like, all the dust and all the air pollution comes to Afghanistan.
Right.
Two biggest industries, economies right now in the world that are focused on burning more fossil fuels. So I had this elevator pitch, it was coming up next, for a week or so, and Michael was there. I think the entire Link strategic team was there too, and they were like, okay, Scott was like, now all the students are going to present their topics or their venture projects and see what do you think. Every student had to make like a 1 page or 1 minute, 2 minute speech. And I was the last one. I don't know why. And while they were talking, other students were talking. It was virtual, by the way. It was over Zoom it was right after COVID. COVID was still very relevant, was still around. So it was through Zoom. And I was at home. I had gotten back from school. I was super tired, I went to my computer, saw the speech. I was like, okay, this is not good. This is so messed up. And what I did was I just, took some words, changed around, made it more personal, made it more like a story type of thing,
Right, that's good.
And I presented with passion.
Yep.
I was tired, but other students was reading it, They were just reading, hi, hello, my name is this, my provincial project is this. The way that they presented, I don't think that it seemed really interesting.
They seem authentic, yeah.
Authentic, yes. And then I started. So I was like, all right, hello, my name is Erfan, I'm from Afghanistan, blah, blah, blah. I talk about my venture project. And Michael was, I remember Michael was looking at me and he was laughing, because he wasn't laughing, he was happy, he was smiling. He was laughing and he was like, wow, this is everybody was cheering me. Everybody was like, wow, that was impressive. And I was like, I didn't expect that. I went with so much confidence that I would say I won everything, But it was just a venture project. It was just like practicing that you would practice with Link team. And then the next week, actually, I had a panel discussion with Vice President Al Gore, former Vice President Al Gore, in March. And Scott asked Michael if he could help me with my panel discussion, what to talk about. There were a couple of things. And we had some sessions, Michael and I, we had some sessions, practice sessions that we went through and talked about what things I need to point out to. I think we met about 3 times. And he was like, he really prepared me. Although I don't think that panel went as well as I had expected,
But
I was kind of pissed because it was so bad. The format was bad. Everything was bad about it. But I'm happy.
But
Then what happened was Michael reached out to me after a few days. He was like, "Good sir," I remember the exact wording. "Good sir, you did amazing. and he called me. He was like, all right, we have this opportunity, you know, I want to offer you an internship at Link if you would be happy to do it. I was like, it was summer of 2022. I said, I'm doing an internship with a US congressman from Maryland. I said, I don't think I'm able to do it. Maybe next summer. So it was summer of 2023 that I reached out to Michael. I was like, all right, do you know anywhere, like, you know, I want to do an internship, you know, also really want to get some good technical skill too, and also, you know, get paid because I want to contribute to my family, send back, and also here, you know. And he offered me. He was like, all right, we have this opportunity if you want to come. I was like, sure. And I had my first interview.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. You were there? I think you were there.
I think I was on the call. Yeah.
And I had to prepare a resume. But before then, I worked with Michael on several projects. He had invited me to a couple of panel discussions. I moderated a panel at Catholic University with a bunch of CEOs and presidents and a scientist and an expert. I give a keynote speech with this Harvard student. She's a good friend of mine. I want to shout out to her, Elsan Benkov.
Shout out.
Jay was there. Jay Early.
Jay Early, Mr. Early.
Mr. Early, who's my supervisor, and I love him to death. So, yeah, that's how I got connected, and I got the job at Link in August of 2023, and I've been working ever since.
Okay, let me ask you, because you know Link do a lot of social impact and stuff like that. What are some of like the top projects that you was like, dang, I'm excited about being about? Like, what was like your best project, if you can name me about two of them?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first one I ever was a assistant project manager. You know, there is like a hierarchy that you have to go through, like be able to be a project manager or project coordinator. Yeah. We call it project coordinator at Link. The DC State Fair. What happened was DC State Fair kind of reached out to us late. And every project manager was busy with other projects. So Zamia, who is also a project manager.
Shout out to Zamia. Even though you're a Cowboy fan, I still love you. Take command.
Zamia saw me and she was like, Erfan, do you want to help me out? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And she appointed me as the project manager. And I was it was my first project. You know, always like your first project is the most memorable one.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, we're going to promote businesses, small businesses, and there's going to be people who are going to try to hire you, you know, like opportunities for, not hire me, but like people, job fair type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that was the most memorable thing, like the first project and the one that I'm really proud of because I contributed a lot and I put a lot of effort into that. It really changed. Our first focus was just to like, you know, reach out to people living near the Franklin Park. That's where the event happened, you know, the DC State Fair. And I was like, no, this is so small. We're not going to get a lot of people. Why don't we reach out to neighborhoods, you know, like poorer neighborhoods, reach out to people who are not given many opportunities, you know, like let's focus more, you know, let's focus on a broader scale of thing, you know. And then we also reached out to high schoolers, college students, and the turnout was really high. And, you know, we had expected maybe, I don't know, 500 people at first. And then when I made my recommendation, you know, to Zamia and to our client, we got like 2,000 or more.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm really proud of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So that's one. Thank you. That's one. The second one I did was I worked with Casey on Virginia Tech.
Casey.
Yeah, Casey Anderson. Shout out to you, Casey.
Yeah, shout out to you, Casey.
Yes. I was in functional support. I was just, you know, like helping with research, stuff like that. Casey really helped me to learn more about research, how to do it. And because of Casey, I'm really able to like to do research in a very better way. Yeah, I don't know. She helped me a lot. I remember at Virginia Tech, it was like we had to find people representative, like who should we reach out to, and again, Virginia Tech University, they only focus on like the police officers, the priests, the imams of the mosques in Williamsburg and Blacksburg area. I was like, we need a people representative, you know? I don't remember what was the issue or the topic. I think they were trying to do something with the transportation.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I mean, you're basically taking people's rights away from them to speak about, you know, the transportation, because they're more informed, they know better, you know, than the officials. Officials obviously busy with other things, but like you have to bring someone from the community to speak up about the issue, you know?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
If you had one superpower only, what would that be? I'm just curious.
One superpower.
And why? Only one super. I know it's hard, but one superpower.
I mean, there's a lot of things, but I don't know. It would be.
You like, it's so many of them. I just don't know.
I know. I would be. If I had one superpower, you know, it's very unusual, but I wanted to have the power of convincing people, you know, like changing their minds, not reading their minds, changing
like
their minds.
Persuasion, manipulation, or something. See,
in a good way, in a positive way.
In a good way. Look, see, I'm glad you said that, because when we hear manipulation, we like, oh, whoa, why you Politicians do it all the time. Companies do it all the time. Manipulation don't always have to be something bad. It can be something good. Manipulation has so much bad stigma behind it, but it can also be used for good too.
Absolutely.
I was reading a book, I forgot the author name, it's over my tongue, but Dark Psychology. And it was just talking about tricks about like persuasion and manipulation and how to leverage it. So I just thought it was very interesting, but that's very good.
You know, sometimes persuasion, like or manipulation, right? When you sometimes like try to manipulate in a positive way, maybe that's bad, but the outcome might be good, you know?
Yeah,
who knows?
yeah.
Like, here's the thing. I don't want to take their control.
Right.
You know, I don't have control over people. I just want to have like, I want to be a good, it's really hard to say actually, like convince everybody. Like, why is this good? And why I say that, it's because I want to go to people around the world who are in conflict, right? Now in Afghanistan, women and girls are banned from going to school, which is unfortunate.
Hold on. Is that still going on?
Yes, it is. And I have this, yes, it is.
So women and little girls cannot go to school?
No, they can't. I know.
That's like slavery. Like, that's bad.
I mean, you could say that.
Whoa.
It's only the Taliban, you know, that's in 2022, March, including my sisters, Afghan girls on the first day of school went to school, you know, with their uniform, black uniform, like black dress with white, we call it chadar, or a scarf. That's the uniform for Afghan female or girls, high schoolers and middle schoolers. So they went to high school, they went to their schools, and when they got to school, they saw, oh yeah, there's a Taliban member standing at the door, not letting them and sending back. And I was watching the news. There was this one girl, she was stopped by a Taliban member, and there were multiple of them, but they didn't want to talk to the media. And she was crying, and it really broke my heart. And then later that night, I called my sister, and she was also crying. She was like, Erfan, what's going on? What's happening? When I felt that happened, like when I heard about it, I felt it, the next day, I went to school. I saw girls, everybody like here, right? And I was guilty. I was feeling guilty. I'm able to go to school. I'm able to take advantage of getting education here, stuff like that. But my sisters and girls and women in that side of the world cannot.
Wow.
It wasn't always like this. I mean, it's only the Taliban.
So why is the Taliban not allowing women and girls to get educated? And then what are other things are they doing at home? Are they like trying to read and self-educate? Yeah. But why? What's the reason of them not allowing women and girls to go to school?
Well, I don't know the details of it, but all I know is that the Taliban comes. Afghanistan, first of all, Afghanistan is a very traditional society.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say patriarchal. Only men have power. Certainly, right now they do. Yes, but it's not only male-dominated. In the past 20 years, with the investment of international community and the United States, Afghan girls got the opportunity to educate themselves, to be in, to get jobs and to have career in higher levels, to showcase their skills. I mean, this kind of sounds dumb and weird, but a lot of people might not believe me, but Afghan girls are way smarter than Afghan guys, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Research showed that like a lot of women, like they're sharper, man.
Yeah, they work hard, they're focused.
Yeah.
The Taliban comes from Afghanistan, they come from Afghanistan, but it's about their ideology, Taliban has this ideology, it's called, Deobandi, Salafi, Wahhabi, that don't give a lot of value to women. And when people here in the West look at that and they think, oh yeah, okay, so Afghanistan is like that, that must be the entire Islamic world. There's 57 Islamic countries. Other countries, women are president. The first, I don't think that she was the first, but in Afghanistan neighbor, the prime minister was a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vice president, even now in Saudi Arabia and Iran, the two biggest, most religious or centers for Islamic world, they have women in their,
in leadership
in
roles.
their leadership roles. Exactly, in government.
Yeah.
The vice president might be a woman, or the ambassador to this country might be a woman. But you look at Afghanistan, and you see that, it's really sad. It's really sad, but it's only a small percentage,
Wow. I did not know that. So you just dropped something on me. So I just wanted to ask you, what's your take on gun violence? You know what I'm saying? Like gun violence in general. You can speak from your country perspective and also like here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Well, before I answer that question, you asked me about how do they educate themselves.
Yeah.
So they can't. There are secret schools that are running in Afghanistan and Kabul right now. I know about Kabul only. I don't know about other cities. They can't. Their future, they don't have any future. Only lucky ones get the opportunity to leave Afghanistan to go to other neighboring countries or far away, come to the United States or go to Europe. And even neighboring countries, they're treated as second or third class, not even
that's like
citizen. Pakistan, they're refugees. Like, do you think they're gonna value more their own people or refugees? They're not like other countries. They're not as generous, But there are thousands of thousands, millions of them in neighboring countries, like 5 million people in Iran, 4 million in Pakistan. I'm talking about the refugees, and we've got a couple of 100,000 in the United States.
Right.
But There's secret schools. I run this organization called School by Any Means. We provide education for girls and women in Afghanistan. And it was Michael actually helped me to start this. He gave me ideas. He gave me like things that I should think about. The creative ways that how I'm going to be able to run this and make this successful. It was actually worth it. We got to educate about 100 girls in Afghanistan. Currently, they're in Afghanistan. It was through Zoom online. Our focus was journalism because we wanted
secret school, right?
Secret school. Okay. Yes, it was secret school. We would do it 3 times or 4 times a week, but it was stopped because first of all we couldn't risk their identities because they might be identified by the Taliban members, and second, it was really expensive. It was too costly and we didn't really have resources. We didn't really have funds. Even Montgomery County Public School told us not to do it. They let us down basically. And it was such a disappointment that when we had to stop it, and I still talk to those girls, ask about their status quo.
And before we jump to the gun violence question, how do we stop this, in regards with the Taliban? What would you say? What would be your approach? If you was in position to stop it, how would you stop it?
Well, I wanna turn my face to the camera and actually tell the Taliban and whoever listens to this and whoever is against letting people going to school, like girls and women. Just imagine, your sister, your daughter, your wife gets sick, right? And you don't want any male doctor to touch him. How are you going to get your female family members get treated? How are you going to do it? You need female doctors. And when you stop your people, girls and women, from going to school, you're risking your own life. God is watching. You believe in God, you're religious. You say that you represent Islam, but God is watching you. And God is not happy with you. And God is not happy with your actions. And in order for your own sake, for your own safety and security, right? You need to be kind to other people. This is my message to the Taliban and to whoever listens to this and is against letting women and girls to be educated.
Wow, that was touching, man. Whoa, that was a lot. Let's shift to gun violence.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your I got really baffled a little bit. What's your take on gun violence in America, or in America? And how do it somewhat translate to Afghanistan too, if you can compare both of them? I'm interested in knowing that as well.
What's really interesting, when I came to America, I never heard of gun violence, gun culture. I never heard the term gun culture. I was like, what is this? And there was a neighbor of us, and she was asking, okay, do you guys have gun culture in Afghanistan? I was like, what's that? Afghanistan is seen to be a very, it's a bad part of the world, there's war, chaos, conflict, killing, stuff like that. But regular people, civilians, don't have guns. It's only the militias, the,
terrorists,
the army, the organizations, terror organizations, they have it, But people go and pick up arm and just in case of self-defense, but they don't carry it, they don't have it, they don't terrorize, It's only the big, powerful people or the elite,
right.
It was that case. And in
And that's like
under the former government.
and that's like in Germany too.
Yeah.
For you to get your point, it's a lot of people that I know from Germany.
Yeah.
I did like a documentary, and
Yeah.
they was like, we don't have like gun violence. People
We
don't
don't.
really have guns over here. Like only if you military, you law enforcement. But we just don't know. She said it's really rare that we don't have gun violence over here.
You know, one thing about Afghanistan, you're more safer in Afghanistan now than you're in America. You know why? Because there's no gun culture and there's no gun violence. At my time, yes, there was only suicide bombings, explosions, but people didn't come and randomly kill you. It's not like that. But when you come to the United States, the most peaceful country, and it's not peaceful anymore.
That's what they portray. But look, we never really been peaceful. Hold on, let me, you know, and I'm not trying to get reported or anything like that, but we have a lot of violence here in America, like gang violence, street violence, people shooting up schools and things like that. This been going on for years. You know what I'm saying? Crack epidemic, all types of things like that. And we speak about, and they flag us about going to other countries that might be violent. Like if I'm trying to go to Cancun or Mexico or Guatemala, whoa, be careful, it's rated this level. I wouldn't suggest or this, but United States of America is one of the most dangerous places in the world.
It is.
And the media sometimes make it seem like these other countries is this bad and things like that, and it's nowhere compared. So I agree to your point, but I don't really, America has always been a dangerous place. To me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, like, in regards of gun violence, of course, a gun can't naturally just kill people on its own. You know, of course, they got guns that can shoot, like, drones, but I'm talking about it needs a human to actually operate an actual firearm.
Yes.
Gun violence has always been a problem in America.
It has always been. You know, I think the problem is not having rules and regulations, you know? Anyone can just go to a gun shop here, just go get one.
Yeah.
It wasn't the case for me back in Afghanistan. They would press you. They were like, first of all, there was no gun shop. You wouldn't be able to find it.
Yeah.
And they would be monitored and regulated by people. Although we had a lot of like corruption, you know, people would skip law. But no. Obviously, every big city or every country has mafia or gang members, stuff like that, right? But they would do their own thing. They wouldn't they wouldn't get into conflict on the middle of the street, killing an innocent people, you know? They would solve their problems and issues in a specific place. All right, we're not going to harm civilians, you know? The government...
Like integrity, it's a form of integrity,
I mean, it's really sad to see, you know, the United States, the most powerful. I mean, you know, you've got, I don't know, the biggest military, the biggest economy, and you have the world order, you know, you have like 800 military bases in 197 countries or something. And you cannot stop violence here, but you want to stop violence in other countries?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we always want to be bullies or try to stop it. No, what I do, I agree to that. That's a good point. Like, we one of the biggest superpowers in the world. Here have all these nukes and things like that. But we can't stop gun violence because it's more guns. I was looking at some of the data research that I was looking at, that it's more firearms than you in the United States of America than individual people. So and that's wild. And you know, just imagine how many people got per. You have regular civilians legally or illegally have military weapons. Yeah. All these type of ARs, guns with 30 clips and beams and silencers. It's 100% scary. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's times when you don't think you make it to 18, 16, and 19. So, it's crazy that you're saying that in regards to like your country, because how the media might make it seem, even though like terrorism is real, you know, it happened in America. Like we were just saying what happened in New Orleans. Yes. With the guy, he was born here in America. He served in the United States of America, and he did terrorism because he said he was with something called ISIS. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And it's just crazy.
Yeah, I think, you know, one thing that we are too focused on, we're focused on terrorism that are external. We don't focus on internal terrorism. Yeah. What does terrorism mean? Anything or anyone that terrorize people. That is terrorism.
Yep.
Yeah.
Say school shootings.
School shooting is not terrorism.
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay. That guy is mentally ill. Okay, it's fine. That's not. Okay. Don't you think a terrorist? He might be like. Here's the thing. He might be a mentally ill guy. You know, who's brainwashed by something. You know, by people, by ideologies, by videos, stuff like that. They go kill people. Oh, that's terrorist. Yep. But this guy.
You shut up a church or a
school, a store, you know.
He mentally ill. No, it's still terrorism. Like at the end of the day, when you're terrorizing people, innocent people, that's all. And you know, some of these cases, I'm like, this is terrorism. Like, what's the difference with someone doing a Boston bombing to someone going to shoot a church and killing a pastor and innocent woman, or someone going into a grocery store shooting black people and just gunning them down? Like, that's 100% terrorism. And like we like what you saying, Erfan, is like beautifully said.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? We focus on internal and trying to keep talking about like using religions and trying to down religion and up other faiths and stuff like that. And it's just like people, like these people obviously, no matter if it's 9/11 and whatever, you gotta have you gotta have some ill thinking if you're thinking about killing yourself and killing others. So that's mentally ill. If I'm thinking about going to shoot up 100 people, something that I won't ever do, but that's mentally ill thinking. You know what I'm saying? It's different between the mind. Okay, me and you was just fighting beef, and I'm actually trying to protect myself, and I kill you or something like that. Or I feel for my life and I killed you. That's a different type of thinking between me trying to shoot 100 people or me. This dude, we're squaring up, we're fighting. He pull out a knife, and then I shoot him because he pull out a knife. Those two different type of mindsets. It's a mentally ill, and it's someone self-defense. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think even with the gun violence or street gang violence in regards of United States of America, is a form of ill thinking as well, stupidiness and ill thinking too, to just kill someone off of a street name, kill someone because they stepped on your shoe, kill someone because they looked at you, kill someone because you just don't like the energy. People out here killing for nothing. And it's scary. That's why I'm like, it's really scary, especially like these 11, 12-year-olds. They could be the one, I take threats very seriously. It could come from a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, because they have access to firearms. We see it all the time that, such and such 9-year-old got hold of their gun and their parents. And I think parents in their households need to step it up. Like, protect your shit. Why are you giving access to your children? Why do they know where your stuff at? Like pitch your stuff up, lock it down. They should not have full access to your firearm, the clips, the bullets. Like, come on, y'all. Like, parents, we got to do better. I think we're trying to be more of our kids' friends than actually a parent. And I think it's balanced. Like, we can laugh, we can kick the ball, but we can go have sports, play, fun. But it's times when you got to like separate the two, like being a parent. And I think when we had those cases, and I think they should really hold parents accountable. They should. Like they did one of the kids was a shooting last year. He ended up getting a firearm. He went and killed some kid. He killed some people at the school, and they held the father accountable.
They did, yeah.
And the FBI, I believe, interviewed the family at first and said, hey, he was making threats. This was like a year before he was making threats of killing somebody at the school. He was getting bullied. That's why I stopped bullying people. I hate bullying because I was bullied as a kid before. I used to didn't want to fight. Look, I didn't want to fight. I was like a lover, getting black eyes, you know what I'm saying? People, and that can transform you. Like you don't want to get bullied no more. You start picking up a firearm. You start want to hurt people. They say hurt people, and that's so true. It's sad. I'm not saying it's right, but when you experiencing hurt so much, you start to want to do those same things, and that's why I'm big on that bullying people, because those people that you're bullying, them be the ones to take your life.
Absolutely.
And that's what actually seemed like it occurred. Well, I guess this white boy that happened with the shooting, and I forgot where it was at, but it was recent. It wasn't super old. But the white boy, they went and interviewed him and his father. The FBI, you could see it on their camera, and they was talking. And he was like, ill. He was like, access, and I was like, wow, like they tracked it already, but went to sleep on it. And now this boy ended up killing several people, and it's sad. Like I'm honestly, sad. It's really sad.
This needs to be stopped. It's an emergency. It's an issue that is very alarming, and it's been going on for years, and I think no action has been taken.
Yeah.
It needs to stop as soon as possible. I admire all the things that you've said. It doesn't limit only to, we blame the government, we blame the industries, right? Sure, they exist. Sure, they have power. But parents need to act first. Second, we need to educate them. We gotta spread the news. We gotta spread awareness. Why is it dangerous? Why
gun safety? How to actually properly use a gun, and I think that will help too because we shun. Not all people, especially speaking for the black community, because I am African American. We shun that amongst us because it's a form of like ignorance. Yes. Oh, why y'all taking them to the gun range? Why are you teaching them gun? But when you look at like Caucasian people and stuff like that, they got their children going to the gun range at 5 years old, teaching them how to properly use a firearm. And I think that can also help because I went to the gun range several times where I seen Caucasian families having their 5-8-year-olds in there shooting 38s and stuff like that, learning how to properly shoot, doing archery and things like that. I think those skills, if you teach those properly, we can have less gun violence that we see these videos, people shooting like that. And it'd be a lot of black people, they run in shooting like this, killing innocent, killing women, fathers, babies. It's senseless gun violence. You know what I'm saying? And of course, like I was on the other side of a firearm and was a part of this, you know what I'm saying, in my past. But I think proper training, to my point, like proper training of how to use a gun and going about things legally, not getting illegal firearms and things like that can be helpful in regards of reducing. I don't believe in gun violence ending. I'm in the fight because there's so many firearms out here. Violence, unfortunately, is in people nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so adjust to violence. Like, one, you like combat. You actually did combat sports. I entertain now on a professional level. Combat sports, watching people get shot at, watching people get shot, people coming to shoot, seeing it, and it's like, it's sad, but we're normal to this. Like, it's like a normal, on my timeline, you seeing people get shot, you seeing people get kidnapped, you seeing people get hit upside the head, and you don't react, you just like, whoa. So that's a mental issue. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a mental issue that I'm used to seeing so much trauma and so much violence. And it's in our nature, unfortunately. You know, you being from the country, it's a beautiful country, but there's a lot of aggression and unfortunate things going on. Me being from a country that's supposed to be so free and opportunity, and it is a lot of opportunity here, and it's a lot of opportunity here, and that's one thing that I love. But we still have a lot of segregated groups in regards to like underserved communities where a lot of people, specifically black and brown people, suffer and they lead to gun violence and drug addiction and things like that. And I just think we're just still behind, man. Like, I just still think we're behind it. And gun violence won't end. And people out here like, let's end gun violence. But when we say that, that means ending it in its entirety, like deleting it. And I don't see it being deleted on any level. We can reduce it, reduce it by miles. But ending it, it's going to still be some idiot out there that's going to shoot somebody. It's going to still be some idiot that's going to go out there and try to hurt somebody. So unfortunately, but that's just being realistic. And that's one thing people get upset with me sometimes because I want to be real. Like, let's be realistic here.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, gun violence won't end.
It would actually increase violence a lot. You know, people might resist against it. You know? I think the way that do it, you should gather all. You have your own opinion. That person has their own opinion. Okay, let's find the most realistic and the most logical solution to this issue, right? And again, there'll be a lot of factors go into that, but there might be obstacles, there might be challenges, there might be issues. First of all, government regulations. Second, industries, companies. They're going to sell their guns no matter what. But how are you going to stop them? That's what is more important. I mean, it's very unfortunate. Sure, we blame communities. Here's the thing. Instead of talking about the bad aspects of a community, if we come and talk about good things,
Yeah.
then we're going to be a cause for a change, you know? We're going to be a cause for an inspiration. People are going to be inspired by your sayings, by your words. They're going to be like, okay, what is this thing that I have in my hands? And I don't need it. Why am I using it, right? When they listen to you.
Yeah.
And I think we need to do more outreach and like more advertising, I believe, you know, that'll be the right word to use. I don't know. It's sad.
No, that's.
I wish I knew more about it so I could give more opinions on it. But
no, what you said was still, it was strong and powerful, and it had a lot of foundation on its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming to the end now, what are some advice, some things that you can give? Yeah, some tips that you can give to people that's in your situation, man or female, that you can give.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I wouldn't focus generally on only immigrants and refugees, but it would be also on everybody else. Like in general, every person who are here. I think the first thing is be grateful of what you have. Don't take your family, your life, your friends, your opportunities for granted, because you're not going to get them again. When you lose your family, it's hard to reunite with them. You know, that happened to me. Sure, there's a chance I might reunite with my family, right? But God forbid you lose your family, your mom. You're not going to have your mom again, who's your biggest supporter. When I say don't take things for granted, that would be everything. So number one. Second, be strong, be resilient. You don't know who you're inspiring. You might be under a lot of pressure. You want to give up, but there will be other people watching you and getting inspired, you know. They're going to look up to you as a role model. Just be strong, you know. And for me, strength comes from spirituality. I'm a very spiritual person, you know. I believe in God. I'm a Muslim. I am religious. I gotta admit that, you know. Nowadays, term religious has been kind of demonized. People think being religious means, extremist. You know, dumb people, obviously. You know, strength and resilience and believing in yourself. I know it's very common. You hear everybody talking about it, but actually believing in yourself matters. 3, stop getting distracted. Stop chasing and going after dumb things that are not useful to you, you know?
Wow.
Stay focused. Do your thing. When you start something, finish it, you know? 4th, be respectful, be kind. If you're respectful and kind and support people, no matter what, you shouldn't look for benefit. You shouldn't look for, you know, what you're gonna get. That'll pay off. That'll come back to you, you know? Yeah. When I'm kind to you, you're kind to me back. When I support you, maybe you cannot support me right now, but in the future you might be able to support me. So that support, being kindness is good. And number 5, which is the most important one and the last one, always help each other, you know, always try to be there for each other, because that's important. I'm lucky as an immigrant because I've been given many opportunities and I've been surrounded by great people, including Joe, who was one of my first friends, first colleague, Michael Aiken, my uncle, who's my hero, father figure, Michael Aiken, you know, he's also a father figure, my brother, but not a lot of people have it, and you don't know what people are going through, so be kind, be helpful. Yeah.
Hey, there you have it. Oh, first tell them subscribe to Mr. WeFit.
Subscribe to Mr. WeFit channel.
Yes, man. Thank you so much. This was a powerful one, y'all. Go support my boy Erfan. He's doing a lot of great things, impactful things. I see a lot of things that what you galvanizing here in America, things that you can take back to your country. I see how you're trying to make the connection. I see a lot of great things, man. It's all love, man, and greatness, man. I'm really sitting in the presence of greatness. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited to just have this. This was a deep, very deep take.
It has been. Thank you so much.
It was really authentic. I seen the passion, and I appreciate it. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. It's Mr. WeFit, the Shift Effect. Whoa.
Thanks for having me.